Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Many years ago, two brothers named Qasim and Ali Baba lived in Persia. The nature of both brothers was totally different. Qasim was selfish and greedy, whereas Ali Baba was a gentleman and was very honest. Qasim married a rich lady and so became rich. Although Ali Baba and his family were leading a poverty-stricken life, he was happy. He used to cut wood in the forest and sell them in the town. With the money thus earned, he supported his family. One day, Ali Baba was cutting wood somewhat deeper in the forest. Suddenly, he heard the footsteps of horses. He thought, the horse riders may be robbers or thieves. It would be safe on the tree. Thus, he immediately climbed up a tall tree nearby. He saw from the treetop that a caravan of thieves came and stopped near a big rock. The leader of the thieves said, "Open sesame." Suddenly, a door opened in the rock and all the thieves went inside. Ali Baba waited anxiously. After some time, all the thieves returned. The leader then said, "Close sesame," and the door automatically closed. After the thieves went away, Ali Baba got down from the tree, went to the rock and said exactly as the leader of the thieves had said. He said, "Open sesame." After the door opened, he went inside. He could not believe his eyes when he saw the view inside. The room was full of gold, silver, and other ornaments stolen by the thieves. Ali Baba had not seen so much of wealth even in his dreams. He hurriedly filled his bag with golden coins lying there and came out. Then he said, "Close sesame." The door immediately closed. It had become dark as he got to his house. On reaching home, he told everything to his wife. Then giving the gold coins, he told her to keep them safely. The wife was amazed to see the coins. She suggested, "Why not weigh the coins before keeping them safely?" Ali Baba agreed. Then his wife went to Qasim's wife to ask for the weighing scales. Qasim's wife was inquisitive as to why Ali Baba's wife needed the weighing scales so late in the night. So she rubbed some wax under the balance surface and gave it. Ali Baba and his wife weighed the coins. Then Ali Baba's wife went to return the balance. Both Ali Baba and his wife were unaware of a coin being stuck to the balance surface. When Qasim's wife saw the golden coin, she went to her husband and said, "Your brother is getting richer day by day, amassing gold coins came from where he has got the gold coins." Qasim went and asked his brother about the golden coins. As Ali Baba was a simple and truthful person, he narrated the entire incident to his brother and promised him to take him to the exact place the next morning. But the greedy Qasim thought, if I take my brother along with me, I'll have to share the coins with him. So I must go alone in the morning. I have already known how to get inside the rock. Early in the next morning, Qasim went to the jungle alone. He went near the big rock and said, "Open sesame." He then went inside. He was flabbergasted to see all the riches there. He collected as much of wealth as he could in the bags. But when he wanted to come out, he forgot what to say to open the door. He uttered many words, but the door did not open. Now Qasim was stuck. Suddenly he heard some voices. He thought, probably my brother has come searching for me. But they were the thieves. When their leader saw Qasim, he got furious. He killed Qasim, cut him into pieces, and hung the body pieces on the walls. All the thieves then went away. When Qasim did not return even after a long time, his wife grew worried. He went to Ali Baba and requested him to search for his brother. Consoling her, Ali Baba set out for the jungle. When he entered in the rock, he saw the body pieces hung on the walls. He thought, Qasim had to pay dearly for his greed. If he had accompanied me, he would not have to pay so dearly. He collected all the body pieces of his brother in a bag and returned. When he reached his brother's house, he saw Margina, his brother's clever maid servant there. Ali Baba gave the bag to her and said, This bag contains the body parts of your master. Take them and make sure that no one knows." Marjana went and told her mistress about Qasim's death. On hearing this, Qasim's wife started crying aloud. When asked by the neighbors as to why her mistress was crying, Marjana said that her master was ill. Then Marjana thought of a plan and went to a doctor. She said, "My master is very ill. Give me some medicines." The next day, she again went to the doctor and bought some medicines, giving the same excuse. The next day, she declared that her master was dead. Everybody thought that Marjana's master passed away because of illness. Then, according to the plan, Marjana went to a cobbler and said, "I'll pay you a gold coin for the work you do, but keep this fact to yourself." Then she blindfolded the cobbler and brought him to her place. She asked him to stitch the body parts of her master Qasim and told him to keep his mouth shut. The cobbler readily obeyed. An excited Marjana then gave him 2 gold coins promised earlier. Then she again blindfolded him and took him to his place. The last rites of Qasim were then performed, and no one could even doubt as to what had happened to Qasim. Marjana and Qasim's wife now started living at Ali Baba's place. Meanwhile, when the thieves returned, they did not find Qasim's body parts there. The leader shouted, "Someone knows about this place! Find out who he is!" Now one of the thieves reached the town. He saw an old cobbler. He went to him and asked, "How are you carrying on with your work in spite of being so old? Your eyesight might have weakened." The old cobbler very proudly replied, "I can see very well. Recently I stitched the body parts of a person. I did so well that no one could even detect that the dead body was in parts earlier." The thief was very happy to have got the clue, but hiding his happiness, he said to the cobbler, "Take me to that person's house and I'll pay you gold coins. Come on, hurry up." The greedy cobbler replied, "I had been blindfolded before I was taken to the house, so it may be a bit difficult to find the way to the house." The thief said, "Don't bother about that. Let's go." Both the thief and the cobbler had to wander a bit, but finally managed to reach Qasim's house. But the house was now empty, as Qasim's wife and Marjana lived at Ali Baba's place. When they inquired as to where they would find the lady, Marjana in this case, they were told to go to Ali Baba's place. The thief and the cobbler reached Ali Baba's place. The thief then gave 2 gold coins to the cobbler and made him go. Then he made a white cross outside Ali Baba's house so that it would be easily recognizable. When Marjana returned from the market, she became suspicious on seeing a white cross on their outside wall. She immediately made a white cross on the wall of every house in the area. Meanwhile, the thief went back to his leader and said, "I've recognized the house and made a white cross on the outside wall. Let's go immediately." The leader followed the thief. On reaching the place, they were astonished to see a white cross on every house. Unable to recognize the house, the leader got furious and beheaded the thief. Then he returned. Now he asked another thief to find the man out. This time too, the thief found the house of Ali Baba with the help of the cobbler. The thief then went and told his leader, "I've made the red cross to recognize the house. Come with me." But once again, the thieves could not recognize the house. A red cross was there on every house. The leader beheaded this thief too. Then he decided to find out himself. So with the help of the cobbler, he reached Ali Baba's house. He made a good close look of the house. Then he returned to the jungle, took all his fellow men and went to the town. There he bought 19 donkeys and 38 big canisters. He told each thief to hide in a canister and fill the remaining 1 canister with oil. Having loaded the donkeys with the canisters, he headed towards Ali Baba's house, pretending to be an oil merchant. It was late evening when he reached Ali Baba's house. Ali Baba was standing outside his house. The leader of the thieves went to him and said, "I'm an oil merchant, and I've covered a long distance. I'm tired. Would you be kind enough to let me spend the night here?" Ali Baba agreed. The donkeys were tied in the courtyard. After having dinner, the thief leader ventured out in the courtyard on some pretext. He went to each thief who was hiding in the canister and whispered, "When I give the signal, all of you come out." Then he went inside the house to sleep. Later, while busy in some household chore, Margina saw that there was no oil in the house to keep the oil lamp burning. She thought, I can't even go to the market now as it's too late, so why not take some oil from the canisters kept outside? Thinking so, she came into the courtyard. When she opened the lid of one canister, the thief inside whispered, Master, should we come out? Margina was dumbfounded, but immediately controlled herself and whispered back in a manly voice, No, the right time hasn't come as yet. She whispered the same thing by going to each canister. When she opened the last canister, she found oil in it. She immediately took the oil and boiled it in a big container without anyone's knowledge. Then she poured a little of the hot oil in each canister. All the thieves died. Margina then went inside the house and quietly went to sleep as if nothing had happened. After some time, the thief leader came out. He opened the lid of one canister. He was astounded to see the dead people inside. He hurriedly opened the other canisters. All the thieves were dead. Fearful of being caught, he fled in the night itself. Early in the next morning, Margina narrated the incident to Ali Baba. She also showed the dead bodies of the thieves. Ali Baba was very impressed by Margina's cleverness, but the dead bodies had to be disposed of immediately without anyone's knowledge. So both Ali Baba and Margina buried the bodies in the back garden. Meanwhile, the thief was making plans to take revenge. Posing to be a clothes merchant now, he started selling clothes sitting a little away from Ali Baba's house. He also made friendship with Ali Baba's son. One day, Ali Baba's son said to his father, Father, my new friend, the clothes merchant, often calls me to his place to have dinner with him. I'm also thinking of inviting him to our place to have lunch. Ali Baba said to his son, Then what are you waiting for? Go to invite him right now. Ali Baba's son went and invited the clothes merchant. The merchant politely refused, saying, Friend, I eat only that food which is devoid of salt. Due to this, I eat only at my home, so please do not mind my refusal. But the real reason was that the fraudulent clothes merchant did not want to eat the salt of Ali Baba's house. Actually, in those days, there was a custom in the Arabian countries. If people ate the salt of someone's house, they would never harm him in any way. This custom was followed not only by the common man, but also by the thieves and robbers. It was same with the leader of the thieves. He was trying to avoid eating the salt of Ali Baba's house, so that he could take his revenge on Ali Baba. When Ali Baba's son returned and told his father everything, he said to his son, You call your friend. Food without salt will be prepared. This was exactly what the merchant wanted, so he readily accepted the invitation. Meanwhile, Ali Baba asked Margina to prepare food devoid of salt. A surprised Margina thought, I'll have to keep an eye on the guest with such a strange request. At night, Margina saw the guest hiding a knife in his clothes. She understood everything. Now she knew that he was the same oil merchant, the thief leader in real, who had come to kill her master and his son. She immediately thought of a plan to save her master. She went to Ali Baba and said, With your permission, I'd like to dance to entertain the guest. Ali Baba readily agreed. Then turning to the guest, he said, Margina dances very well. You'll surely like it. The merchant was not at all happy to hear this, but hiding his disinterest, he just said, Why not? Margina started performing, but she was waiting for the correct opportunity. After some time, she went close to the merchant, took the knife out which was hidden under her clothes, and before anybody could understand anything, stabbed the merchant. The merchant, the leader of the thieves, died. Ali Baba shouted, Margina, why did you do this? You killed a guest! Margina explained everything, starting from how he had come to kill him, first pretending to be an oil merchant and then a clothes merchant. She also showed the knife hidden in the thief's clothes. Greatly impressed by Margina, he praised her for her intelligence and bravery. He also thanked her for saving his family. Now Ali Baba married his son to Margina. As all the thieves had died, Ali Baba brought all their wealth and became the richest man in the town. The end.